If it's flooded, forget it. I've seen so many cars and everything get washed away in the last week or so with all the floods we've had. The water would have been over this road, absolutely 100%, no doubt. G'day there guys, MrAusAdventure here. I'm back on the bike. It's been way too long since I hit the hills. I'm out in the mountains in the glorious Gold Coast hinterland. Just about to hit up Springbrook and then I'm going to go to Beachmont after that, I think. Oh man, it's the last day of January 2015 and this is my first real ride other than a few short commutes for 2015, for the year, for about 2 months. It's been about 2 months since I got out and went in the hills for a good ride. So what I want to talk to you today about is the price of oil and the price of fuel and how that affects me personally. And while I do so, I'm going to click you into fast forward motion here so you can see me go all the way up and over Springbrook instead of just doing a little section of it. So here we go. Bushka! So most people in the world at the moment are pretty happy that the price of oil is super low, which means that their fuel costs are super low. They can commute more cheaply, they can ride their motorbikes and tour more cheaply. Everything relies on fuel these days, so, and the price of oil, so everything comes down, you know, even flights might come down. But personally, myself, I want the price of oil to stay high and I want the price of fuel to stay high. Why? Am I an idiot? Am I stupid? No. Here's how it affects me. So the way the price of oil works is that whenever it goes up, the US dollar goes down. Whenever people are selling oil and the price of oil is dropping, the traders put their money back into the US dollar and it goes back up. This is the way it usually works. They usually go in tandem opposite each other. So how does that affect me? I'm an importer in Australia. My business imports goods and we distribute them. So we buy in the US dollar. So when the Aussie dollar was on par with the US dollar, for say 60,000 Aussie dollars that we were forking out, we were spending 60,000 US dollars. You know, that makes sense, that's pretty obvious. But now, I'm not sure what we're paying in Aussie dollars at the moment, but if we're paying $60,000 for a US order, or for an order in US dollars, then that's going to cost us maybe 80,000. I'm not sure of the exact maths, but it costs us a shitload more. And then what do? We put up the price, cut the margins. It's a real struggle. It really is. So it's already hard enough to make $1 in the industry. It really is. People think, oh, you've got your successful business, blah blah blah. They look at it from the outside and go, oh yeah, you must be making shitloads of money. You've got an online store or a website and everything. It's not always so. So it is really hard to make a living and get by. It's always a struggle. There's a lot of competition in our industry and there's a lot of people that are running similar businesses out of garages with less expense than we are. You know, we are competing directly against the people we sell to in some regards, and they're undercutting us, and we can't really do anything about that because it wouldn't be right to undercut the people that we are selling to. So as I rarely commute, my work commute is only a few kilometres. In good traffic it takes me 5 minutes. When it's really peak traffic, 15 minutes at the most to get to work and get home. So I really don't need a lot of fuel, so I don't care if the fuel prices are high. I really don't. It doesn't bother me that much. But the price of the US dollar does affect me hugely. So this is why I would like to see the price of oil go back up and stay up, because the Aussie dollar will then go up and stay up. But oil's not the only thing working against me there with the Aussie dollar. The Australian government doesn't want the Aussie dollar to be high. The Reserve Bank of Australia is always trying to keep the Aussie dollar low. This is because, I think mainly anyway, I'm no expert on this, but my opinion is that it's because the Australian economy is mainly driven through export. The big mining companies that export raw materials around the world, they drive the economy hugely. So a low Aussie dollar works great for the exporters, but it doesn't work so good for the importers. And as well as it helping the exporters, it also helps our tourism industry, because if people can buy more Aussie dollars when they come into the country for their German mark or the US dollar or their Japanese yen or whatever, they're going to be more inclined to come here. So when the Aussie dollar was high, it was hurting the tourism industry somewhat. And even locally on the Gold Coast here with the film industry, a high Aussie dollar was hurting that, because it was costing the film companies in the US a lot more money to make their films here in Australia, so they were going elsewhere to make their films, or staying in the US. So with a low Aussie dollar, they might be more inclined to come back out here and make films again, as they were many years ago. But yes, the importers struggle. It hurts us. So I really don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be a battle, but just got to try and do it the best we can. So all this talk about oil and the Aussie dollar and everything and importing, this leads me on to another conversation which I will put in another video, as this one's already long enough. So stay tuned for that one. See you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Ride safe. See you later.